What are you fighting for? Are you fighting to become a legend? Are you fighting for the money? Or maybe you're fighting for freedom? Are you fighting for your legacy? Or do you like seeing people in pain? Or do you fight to see blood that's not yours?
My name is Leah Letson. I've been in Taekwondo since I was 5 years old. I wanted to find another martial art that I could get into. I absolutely fell in love with the sport.
All right. LDBC, this is your boy Coach Shelton Harrison. You're live on a Coach Shelton Harrison Combat Sports Show live with LDBCsports.com. And guys, I got a special guest sitting here today. You know, she's deployed right now, but she took some time out of her busy schedule to talk to me today. I have Leah Letson, Leah Nidas Letson. Leah, how you doing this morning?
I'm good, except for it's nighttime here.
Oh,
So
okay, I'm sorry. Hey, well, no big
it's
deal.
okay.
So, Leah, you know, I'm kind of curious. I'm real curious. What made you want to fight?
Well, I started out in cardio kickboxing in college. I actually took cardio kickboxing to get in shape for Air Force basic training, and it just so happens that the instructors for my kickboxing class happened to own an MMA gym, and they saw potential in me, and so they invited me to come try jiu-jitsu, and I fell in love with jiu-jitsu. So once I got back from basic training and everything, I started training with the fight team, and they offered me my first fight like 2.5 months later, and I ended up winning, and it was an amazing experience, so I just fell in love with the sport right away.
So basically 2 months of training, you get into your first fight in the octagon, and then you win.
Yeah. To be fair, I did have Taekwondo background. I started doing Taekwondo when I was 5 years old, so I did that for about 12 years, and then I did kickboxing in college, so I had some striking experience at least.
Okay. So, you know, you had some Taekwondo experience, but, you know, still, though, to transfer that into the octagon, it's totally different, and you went in and won your first fight. That's admirable, because you made yourself to be a knockout artist. I mean, that's what you do.
That's what I tried to do, at least.
Okay. Now, you know, you're from a small town in Wisconsin, right?
Yes.
So,
Gainesville, Wisconsin.
okay. So let me ask you, how did your mom and dad feel, you know, when you say, hey, Mom, Dad, I'm finna get into the octagon, and, you know, I'm finna possibly kick people or take kicks?
Well, they were pretty supportive, actually, because I was doing martial arts pretty much my whole life, like I said, Taekwondo. So I can't say that they were 100% surprised, but they were very, very supportive, because martial arts has really been a part of who I am my entire life, and they thought it was really cool. Obviously, they were like worried about me getting hurt, but, you know, that's any parent, but they were really supportive.
Okay. I mean, that's good to have supportive parents, you know, and I actually read somewhere that you said that you were, like, really shy. So now I'm trying to, like, I'm trying to get, like, how does a shy person, you know, just get in and just beat the crap out of somebody in the octagon?
I don't know how to explain it, but I am pretty shy. I'm actually really shy in person. I'm just a quiet person. I always have been, but I don't know. I'm like a different person when I get in the cage, I guess.
Okay, so basically what you do is you transform into, like, rah, you turn into a beast, and then you just go in and, you know, you have a complete different personality.
Pretty much. I mean, yeah, I guess my coach likes to call it Leonidas. Like, there's Leah Letson and then there's Leah Nidas, and he's like they're two completely different people.
Okay, so that's your nickname, Nidas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. And 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 I guess a Nidus is like some fierce warrior, right?
Well, Leonidas is like the King Leonidas, like the Spartan King from the movie 300. I don't know
Oh,
if you've seen it.
okay.
Yeah, that's where it comes from.
Oh man, okay, okay. So you got named after a true warrior, true champion, then. Okay.
Yeah.
So, so let me ask you, what is the most difficult part, of training?
Um, well, at home, the most difficult part of training is the amount of training that I do. I've actually overtrained before just because I love training so much and I always want to be the hardest working person in the room. So I'm constantly training and sometimes that takes a toll on your mind and your body. I'm usually like super exhausted all the time. So just keeping up with my intense training schedule at home is probably one of the most difficult things. The other difficult thing is the diet. When my friends are all out drinking and eating junk food and I'm sitting chicken, that kind of sucks. But I think the sacrifice is definitely worth it. So, it is what it is.
Okay, so the eating clean, that's the biggest hassle for you, just eating clean, hot almighty. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
everybody has a weakness, so I guess food may be yours, right?
Yeah. I have a big sweet tooth, so it's
Oh,
hard.
okay, well, you got a nice smile, so you definitely don't want them teeth falling out, girl. Hey, I'm just playing. I'll play it with you. I'll play it with you. Okay, so how do you deal with the injuries? Because I mean, even when I used to box, I was always dealing with some type of injury. Like, how do you deal with that?
Um, I try to train around it. Usually I just tough through it. Sometimes my coaches actually have to like tell me to sit out of practice because I'll tend to overdo it. So, but most of the time, me and my coaches are pretty good at coming up with ways to train around certain injuries. So, like if my foot hurts, obviously I won't be working on kicking that day. I'll take like a week or two off of a specific thing and just train around it.
Oh, okay, okay. So that's pretty much the smart thing to do, because I mean, evidently the formula's working because you seem to be going through the ranks in Invicta, fairly quickly. So let's talk about Invicta a little bit. Um, how do you feel like well, okay, your first few fights in Invicta, you've been very successful. And how close do you think that you're going to be to actually getting a title shot in the featherweight division?
Um, well, my goal is actually to fight at bantamweight from now on.
Mm.
The only reason I fought at featherweight the last time was because it was a last minute notice. So me and Liz Phillips just agreed to fight at 145 since it was like the Tuesday before the fight. So, but from now on, I'd like to fight at bantamweight, which is my true weight class. So I think maybe a couple fights there, maybe a title shot. I don't know. I'm just trying to get through this deployment right now, get back into training again, and then get back in the cage as soon as possible.
Hey, so what do you do for training while you're over there? Because I mean, you still look like you can go in and fight right now.
I don't know about that, because I'm obviously working like 12, 14-hour days out here, so it's pretty exhausting, and sometimes I don't have all the energy to train like I need to for a fight. But it is really cool. I'm actually teaching the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu club out here 3 nights a week. So I have a class here on base that I can teach Jiu-Jitsu at 3 nights a week. And then I found a couple people that do Muay Thai, so I've been holding pads for them. They hold pads for me. We've been training together. And then there's also a boxing class out here. So I've actually been able to get some pretty good training sessions in while I'm out here.
Okay, okay. So you pretty much one of those people. You just keep on going. So I had to ask you a question. Okay, so What if somebody got me in a Kimura? How could I get out of that?
Well, I guess that depends on what position you're in. That's a Kimura from guard or from on top of side mount or side control.
A Kimura from the guard, because I had somebody last year put me in one of those, and I'm gonna tell you something. That's the worst pain that I ever felt. And I was sitting there literally like, okay, all right, I'm tapping out, and the guy was laughing at me, ha 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 ha, you know.
I guess the first defense is to not get put into it in the first place, so don't put your hands on the mat when you're in someone's guard. Um, Second thing would be to get wrist control back and don't let them wrap up the Kimura. Um, but beyond that, I'd actually probably have to show you. It's easier to show you than to like try to explain it.
Oh crap, I'm not going through that pain again. I refuse, man. That was the worst. Because I've been inside of a knee bar. I've been in an ankle lock. I've even been
Yeah,
in a rear naked choke, but I was okay. But man, something about, I guess, does it have something to do with joint flexibility? Why some people actually hurt worse than others?
definitely. I have super tight shoulders because I was a swimmer in high school, and so if anyone like puts me in a Kimura or an Americana, it hurts way faster than some people that are super flexible. Like I have a guy at my gym, Matt Michaels actually is his name, and he has the most flexible joints I've ever seen on a human. And he can put in a submission, and he like won't tap because it doesn't hurt him until like the very last possible minute.
Wow, wow, wow. So I guess you could put him in one all day and just do it, and he probably he probably sit back and laugh at you then, wouldn't
Yeah, he does that sometimes.
he? Hey, so let's talk about coach. Let's talk about your great team of coaches, because I'm gonna tell you something. You are knocking people out, okay? And those men that I see that I've been studying you, and those men in the gym, they do a phenomenal job with you. I mean, what do those guys play in your whole training?
um, well, I have a really close relationship with all three coaches. They're kind of like brothers to me because we've been through so much together. Like they basically started me out from scratch, teaching me how to fight. So we know each other really well, and sometimes we fight like siblings. But
Hmm.
I think I think that's a good thing because we know each other so well that they know what I need when I need it. So they know when to be hard on me, and so they know when to comfort me and try to boost my confidence up. And they are really skilled coaches. Like they know what they're doing. They study film all the time. They study fighters all the time. They know like everyone in the game. They do so much research, and they themselves, well, two out of the three of them are fighters themselves, so they know exactly what they're doing, and they know exactly how to explain it to me to get me to understand what they want from me. So I think that's why we work so well together.
Wow, that's really impressive because like I was saying, you were. I think a lot of people picked Elizabeth Phillips to win, and then you won that fight in impressive fashion. And then you fought. I remember you fought Shayna Cox, and you beat her. And then you fought Sarah Pyant. You defeated Sarah. So I mean, it's like you just. It's almost like you're going through them, and you're not even taking a lot of damage. Like you get a little scratch or cut here, but it's not that significant. Like you're actually like doing well. And
Yeah.
from your first fight to your last fight, I've actually seen your defense pick up a little bit. So what exactly is coach doing to help your defense get so defined?
Um, there's so much that I do. I can't even think of exactly one thing. We've been working a lot on footwork and head movement and just my striking in general. And a lot of defense and offense is based on your footwork. So the fact that my footwork has improved so much since my first fight, I think that's what's really been a huge game changer for me.
Yeah, it has because from one of your very early fights that I saw, you know, it was kind of like I can still tell you were a little bit green. You still had the potential, but then it's like when you got into your later fights, you know, because when you got to fights 4 and 5, it's almost like it's a completely different person. And I'm like, what the heck? You know, she's been doing some training. Okay,
Oh
so
yeah.
if you were to tell me without revealing too much of your secrets, because I know you can't talk about that stuff for opponent's sake. Okay,
Yeah.
how would you take me through how you are going to set up a head kick? Because that's, to me, that seems like that's your most dangerous weapon. That you're putting these girls out with that thing.
Yeah.